Good morning, everybody. John here with FNP Wargamers, and this is the FNP Morning Show. I am definitely jamming out to some baby metal with their new song, Da Da Dance. Full copyright stuff is in the description and will be uploaded on the YouTube video, so I do not get hit with a copyright thingamajig playing in the background, but the song is so much fun to listen to. It's got such an amazing beat, and they do such a wonderful job of blending metal and pop in such a way that they have won so many critics over with their music. Especially when you can perform side by side with greats like Rob Zombie and Judas Priest and Alice Cooper and get that legit street cred from them. Man, they're not some fly by night group like a lot of back in the 80s and 90s where it's like one hit wonders. They just keep cranking out the hits, and this latest one, god dang, man, I want to start up and just start. I don't know if I want to jump in a mosh pit. I want to start dancing. I don't know. It is such a good song. But you're not here for good songs. Well, maybe you are. We're going to see how this works. If I can get by with some copyright stuff by giving full credit where credit is due in the description and in the chat, then I might occasionally do that. Actually, I've been thinking about doing some reaction videos to some music in the future and other stuff. Just so we could liven up and kind of change up the variety of what we do here. So, or what I'll be doing on my channel next month, now it looks like, because I have not been able to meet with the brand manager for my channel. So there's been a little delay there. That's okay. So I don't even know where to start right now. First, last time I'm going to mention it, because this weekend, at least I hope this weekend I should be getting the studio prepped, set, and ready to go. At least without the painting the walls and everything for the blue or green screen effect. And we'll be out of the living room hopefully this weekend. So coming Monday, Tuesday, we should be on our new location. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's get into this. I do not have to rush around this morning. I'm not going into work until noon, 11:30, 12 o'clock, depending on how I feel. Probably 11:30. Actually, I might try 11 because FedEx is, if you're working at a front of the local game store or small business, FedEx and what are those guys called? UPS and USPS, during holiday times, they like to deliver way outside the window. The past 2 weeks, we've had some issues with them at my store, the Atomic Hobby Shop, and not my store, but where I work. And so we've had to call them up and send. Poor guy that I talked to. I actually had to let him know that I was not upset with him. I was not cussing him out. And I wasn't cussing anybody out, but I wasn't mad at him. I was mad at the delivery driver for not doing their job. And he really helped me out. I made sure I went back and did a review and emailed their customer service to let them know that this guy put up with my BS and me being very angry, and that he was purely professional. That's something you should always consider, especially a lot of these people have to if you have to call somebody and deal with customer service. You guys got to remember that the customer service people, unless they're being an ass to you, that's curse word number one for the day. Unless they're being a butthead and treating you disrespectfully, it's not their fault, whatever's happening to you. So don't treat them like garbage. Don't, at least say thank you to them. I appreciate you going out of your way to help me. Something along that lines, just to let them know they are not the target of your ire, unless it was that customer service person that was being a dick and you want to address them specifically. But just remember, they are just like you in your job. Unless you're like some kind of corporate CEO or you're in charge of a business or something, you have nobody to answer to. The customer service people are down in the trenches, just like us. Whether they're here in the U.S., they're in some Southeast Asia country or wherever. No matter what, they're people just trying to make a paycheck and try to make a living. So don't target those people with your anger and your ire, especially also if you're going to a retail store. Don't treat those customers like those retail people like garbage, because they're just the checkout people. They don't set the pricing, they don't set the sales. They just are there to stock and check you out as fast as possible. So don't be a dick to them. That's all I could say about that. And also remember that retail workers, please, and I think I remember reading an article. It's a majority of white people that do this, by the way. And I'm not, anti-white but don't say, oh, there's no price tag on it, I guess it's free. Don't do that. That's derpy. It makes you, it's not even remotely funny. It's funny to the clerk because they will likely, the majority of them will likely look at you and think, well, you're an idiot for even saying that, because it's like, I haven't heard that before. Or they're just going to ignore you, or they're just going to laugh along with you because that's good customer service. Regardless, everybody recognizes that's a silly thing to say. And it's making conversation, so thank you for making conversation, but really don't say that, guys and gals. It does not, for a fact, it does not mean the item is free if there's no price tag on it. But thank you. From my perspective, thank you for alerting me that this is the way I take it, is that it's alerting me to the fact that we have forgot to put some stick or labels on it, or price tags on it, or maybe somebody tried peeling it off. And especially the big box retail stores, people will actually try to peel off the price tag and put on a different price tag in hopes to, like, well, it says it's $9.99. Ma'am, this is a 52-inch HD 4K TV. This is not $9.99. This is actually like $399 or whatever. So people will actually do that. So that's another reason why I shouldn't say that. But that's not why you're here. You guys want to hear about some possible rumors. Well, first off, let me go ahead and put out there, guys, I've already told you repeatedly that this is the time of the year where rumors and leaks and stuff are just, it's like they turned off the faucet, they turned off your water. It's so bad that you can't flush your toilet anymore because you've got nothing coming out. Good morning, Nam. You got nothing coming out. You got nothing to, no water pressure, no nothing. You've already used the toilet and you forgot you should have poured some water in there just in case, if you've ever had water turned off before. You screwed up. That's how bad the leaks and rumors are right now, mainly for Games Workshop. Well, actually for everybody, with the exception, if you caught the show last night, Atomic Mass Games gave not one but two previews, sneak peeks of, more than just sneak peeks. It was a full product reveal for their next two character sets, Okoye and Shuri for the Wakanda team, and Venom. And the Venom was just a big surprise already. We weren't even expecting that to happen. So the fact that in the past 2 days, not counting today, but Wednesday and Thursday, we got a brand new game mode, which was basically raid mode, and a total free download. And we watched the gameplay, and I watched it in real life. Very, very exciting gameplay. Really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what more they do with that raid mode, and then, which is basically multiplayer. And then yesterday they gave us a free preview of the new characters that are coming. 3 new characters that are coming, and not only their stat cards, we got to see the miniatures, and we also got to see their crisis event cards and the little tokens that come with them as well. So it was, kudos to Atomic Mass Games, small publishing company, but they're doing it right, and they're putting free rules out there, full free rules, and gave us a free scenario with a new character card. this is what GW should do, and this is where I'm going to segue into Games Workshop. Games Workshop has a major issue, and I've read on many articles, and I've heard from many people, read in many chat rooms, that Games Workshop has an issue with not their rules itself, it's their codex, their army book bloat that they keep. This is where they're really, I think this is really where they make their money, a large portion of their money. I would even say that codexes probably account for about 10% of their business, maybe 12%. Just kind of guessing there. All their books, about 10 to 12%. 12% might be high. Let's go with about 10, plus or minus 2 or 3. Let's just be like everybody else, plus or minus 3. So one of the biggest chief complaints is that they keep, like every 2 years now, it seems they're putting out a new codex, or 2 to 3 years. Boom, here's your new rule book, guys. Boom, here's your new rule book every 3 years. And it's getting exhausting because you're paying $40 per rule book. It's got to the point right now, it's like I've got rule books for Space Marines all the way back to 4th edition right now. And that's what, 6 books plus all the supplements. What Games Workshop really needs to do, they don't have to necessarily give it out for free, but they should come up with some sort of subscription service where, hey, you pay $30 and this should be just a flat one-time fee, really, not even a subscription service. Something along the lines of you pay for this and boom, you are locked into that codex. It's a digital one. So if you want to keep buying the physical copies, you're going to have to buy the physical copies when they come out. But if you want the digital one, then you'll have to, you pay for the digital subscription, and maybe even every time the book comes out, gets redone every 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Hey guys, it's time to renew. $5 renewal. Boom, there you go. And you can keep those rules updated. You don't have to keep publishing books left and right. And another thing that Games Workshop needs to do, and this is where I'm kind of going in with the free stuff, Games Workshop has a very bad, they're setting a bad precedence right now. And they kind of saw what they did with 7th edition and the formations and how popular they are and getting that free content, or sometimes free content. They run into an issue where they're now putting out premium content, early premium content is the way I'm going to call it, or sneak peek content. That's what these Psychic Awakening books are, which they are absolutely great. And as I mentioned before, this is just a holdover for when their codex is coming out. I said that many times. I talked about it many times on I don't know how many episodes. So I'm just kind of bringing it all together for you at the end of the year, kind of a wrap up. What these books are doing is forcing you in a way, maybe coercing you into buying these Psychic Awakening books, these campaign books like Vigilus Defiant and Vigilus Ablaze. Those are pretty much now defunct. They're pretty much useless now because, at least with the Space Marine side and some of the Chaos Space Marine stuff has been migrated over into their books. So, this is what's going to happen with Psychic Awakening, that later on down the line, the majority of this stuff is going to show up in their codexes. Like all the Eldar stuff or all the Blood Angel stuff. It's going to show up in their next codex, which is 9th edition or 8.5, whatever. And so it's clever marketing wise because they're selling these $40 books. They're going to sell about 8 of them, $40 a piece. So you're going to be spending $320 on these books if you're buying all of them, or you're going to be buying a $40 book, and then your codex will come out. You're going to buy another $40 book that contains all that information that was already in the Psychic Awakening. This is in a way, it's kind of like price gouging. It's one of those things I'm not impressed with Games Workshop as a consumer and as a retailer. I'm not happy about, because they're pretty much saying you need these books right now because it's going to be months down the line before you get to see your codex with all this stuff in it. So you're welcome for our service. You're welcome, consumers. You're welcome that we're giving you this stuff early. Yes, we got to put a price tag, but you're getting a great story. You're getting all this stuff that you're not going to use, all these scenarios. You're going to get like 20 pages of a story in a $40 book, and we're going to give you a bunch of scenarios that we're going to end up reprinting and putting in a book, a compilation book later on. Watch, they'll do it. And then all this stuff, all these new rules that you're getting, we're going to put those into your codex because we want to condense everything. So you're welcome for our service. That's how I see Games Workshop right now. And if you think I'm wrong, watch when the next codex drops that has a Psychic Awakening in it, that already has an army and psychic from one of the Psychic Awakenings. Watch what happens. With the exception of Space Marines, which they withheld critical stratagems and upgrades from the main book to put into Psychic Awakening 2. So this is a dick move, Games Workshop, dick move. But whatever. I'm not being doom and gloom. I'm just trying to prepare you guys for what is coming. Games Workshop is moving towards giving you early access, premium early access. I'm not even sure what the right term is, but you're getting premium content early. You're paying for it, which the $40 price tag is, once again, absolutely ridiculous. There's got to be a better way for the consumers and for GW to still make money. But right now, they are just racking up the money. They are putting out so much stuff to get. They're right now. This is, and I hate saying this. If you guys have not watched the show before, I have been involved with Games Workshop for 31 years now, over 31 years. That's how long I've been involved with their hobby. And until 8th edition, maybe 7th edition, I'd say 7th edition, once they got rid of Mr. Kirby, all of a sudden they became greedy. And I know it's a corporation. Yes, they've got to make money. They got to sustain themselves, et cetera, et cetera. I get all of that. I'm not disputing that whatsoever. What I am disputing is is how they're going about doing it. You can still make a profitable product without gouging your customer base. So I really wish somebody would step in and go, whoa, guys, we're fine money wise. We're doing really good. We're nice and steady. Let's dial it back a little bit. We don't have to be gouging everybody because we are now moving away from being a sustaining, self-sustaining hobby to something else. Remember, this is supposed to be about us getting more and more people involved, but we're now starting to price new customers out of the business, out of our business model. I've as a Games Workshop employee and 31 years of experience, I now see a huge shift from when I worked for them and as a consumer before, from, hey, let's get people involved, let's get them in, we love them, we want to grow the community, we want to grow our customer base, because you need to be recruiting, stores need to be recruiting 1 or 2 customers a month. That's how they sustain themselves, and each store needs to be making about $150,000 a year to be on average to be sustainable. So that comes out to about 1 or 2 new customers a month, ideally, based on how much the average person spends in a year. But they've been increasing their prices dramatically, and I blame some of the stuff with China tariffs. Thank you, President Trump, for just making a very bad thing. I'm not dissing Mr. Trump or President Trump necessarily. His business practice, his tariff war was a bad idea. It was poorly executed, and we are suffering in so many ways because of it. So that plus Brexit is causing, I think, some issues with the UK, and that's why they're sneaking in these price increases around 20 to 25%, at least here in the US. I know New Zealand and Australia have that same issue. So we are getting hit with those extra tariffs now, it seems, because there's no need to increase 20 to 25% all the product now from the UK to here. It just started this year. And I understand there's a VAT tax and everything, but that was already factored into the pricing model. Now they're adding another 20 to 25% onto all their product. And it's starting to tell. I'm talking to other retailers, they're I mean, like my store, we're doing very well. I mean, we're in tens of thousands percent great sales and everything. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but other retailers, they've seen their GW sales dwindle down as the pricing is increasing. It is really increasing new people out when you have games like Marvel Crisis Protocol, for example, Malifaux, Bolt Action, Team Yankee, all these other delightful miniature games, skirmish level games that doesn't require big investment, great starting price, are coming out with high quality models. And they're not individually, they're not defeating Games Workshop, but as a collective, more people are moving towards those smaller games. Even Kill Team and Warcry, which is still giving GW and M profit, but they're not raking in the amount. I think there's a number of factors here, and Games Workshop's really, I think, shooting themselves in the foot. They're really messing up in regards to their pricing model right now. And I've gone through the dark ages of, and a lot of you too, so I'm not discounting that. A lot of you probably even heard of what we call the dark ages, when yearly price increases. And Games Workshop has not done their annual price increases anymore. What they're doing is just blending it in with new products. Oh, hey, we got this, we're repackaging this, and we're putting some, new sculpt or something. And now what should have cost you before $40, it's now $50. Tactical squads, I think, are now $50. I could be wrong. I'll have to check on that. Primaire squads are $60. These dollar increases are absolutely insane. We've watched Stormcast Eternals go up. So it's like they're very stealthy now with their price increases, and it's appalling. I'm embarrassed, not that not in a geeky way. I'm embarrassed by my hobby, and don't do that anymore. I am embarrassed explaining to people how much my hobby costs. So I'm definitely taking a hiatus from Games Workshop. They're not going to get my money for months now. I am going to continue to talk about them because the one thing I can absolutely say with certainty is they know how to make quality product, not just miniature wise, but they make some of the best storytelling. They've had to adjust. I'm not going to say retcon. Primaris Space Marines are not retcon. Get that out of your brain pan. Those of you that keep saying they've retconned Space Marines, they have not. They have not retconned it. They've got 10,000 years of history from the Horus Heresy to now, 10,000 plus years, that a lot has happened and a lot that's been untouched. So get off your retconning BS, guys. Come on. Now, if they come back and go, you know what, this whole time, Marnius Calgar has actually been a woman. Okay, that's a major retcon. And the fact that they've got a female Space Marine that's a chapter master of the Ultramarines, that's a huge retcon. I would throw up red flags. Not that I don't want to see female Space Marines, but that would be stupid. That would be like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Oh, all of a sudden doing a new Star Wars series and making the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, a female. Anyways, I'm gonna drink some coffee, so just in case I'm getting salty. Anyways, so I digress. I know that sounded a little. I am challenging the Games Workshop's notion of how they're doing things. Yeah, they're going to do great for sales, but really, well, I think once you factor in their price increases, then yeah, their profits have gone up, but it's matching. I think there's a matching thing with the price increases. So I don't know, man. And Games Workshop will not walk back prices, at least as of right now, because and I understand this from a marketing standpoint, it devalues their product. That's why you won't see a sale, 10% off, 15% off, Black Friday sale. They won't do that because it depreciates their product. So they will never do that until they are in dire straits and they go, you know what, we're doing major price adjustments. Maybe, hey guys and gals, Brexit is over. We're good. We got this great trade agreement with the European Union, everybody else. China has won the trade war and everything's gone back to normal. And which I don't want China to win anything, but they've won the trade war. Everything is settled. Global markets are rebounding. Everything is good. So we're going to go ahead and we did a price assessment. We're going to go ahead and readjust our prices like we readjust our points in our errata. Congratulations, everything drops. Yeah, exactly. For those of you on YouTube, Texas Wargamer just said you shouldn't have to pay near the same price for a box of Centurions as you would a Land Raider. Centurions here in the U.S. are 78 USD, and Land Raiders, I believe, are $82. A big vehicle is the same cost as 3 guys. That's 2 days ago or yesterday, I think I said I'm still working on the pricing model. I think I've got a good idea. And somebody pointed me a couple of YouTube videos where a couple other people talked about it, so I'm going to watch them. And I'll make sure I give credit where credit is due, because that's what we do here. Man, make sure if you're quoting any of this stuff on your guys' channel or your webpage or whatever, make sure you just say, hey, John over FNP Wargamers on the FNP Morning Show said this, and this is where we're pulling this from. It's just a courtesy thing to do. It doesn't pull away the validity of your article, doesn't pull away from you or anything. And if you take time, if other content creators take time to credit other content creators, it actually gets some cross-platforming and you grow your viewer base. So please, certain Spiky Bits and Bell of Lost Souls people that have not plagiarized, but have taken stuff that I've talked about on this channel days after I've talked about it. Please be courteous and give credit where credit is due. I would really appreciate it, because I certainly have quoted you guys whenever I've come across information. And that's for anybody, whether you're doing music videos or your reaction videos, guys and gals. When you're out there, make sure you give credit where credit is due, because it's the right thing to do, man. All right, so Psychic Awakening, just watch. This is it's a cool thing that they're doing, but they're executing, I think, very poorly, only getting 20 pages of story, and it's not even really 20 pages. It's like 15 pages. I've said that before. And then you're getting some really very specific scenarios that are not going to be used on a regular basis. They're scenarios not a lot of people play. I would say less than half of I would say probably about a third of the regular gamers. I'm not talking about tournament players, but about a third of the regular players, which is the majority, the regular players or regular gamers. They are the majority, but I'd say less than a third, probably a quarter of them play those Echoes of War missions, Maelstrom of War missions and such. A very small percentage. I'm not saying that there's anything bad about that. I'm just saying, that those are missions that they could have pulled out of there, and content that they could have pulled out and made more story content, especially if it's something that is so dramatic that is reshaping the galaxy, and you're going to be putting this in 8 books, and you're only going to give us, 160 pages, not even 160 pages, probably about 110 pages, 120 pages of content. Come on, guys. That's not how you write a story. This is bad. This is like, hey, we got a new direction. We got a new director of storytelling. I don't know, our master storyteller. And he doesn't really want to do a lot of work. So he's like, guys, we're going to just do little bits here and there. We're not going to really tell a full cohesive story. We're just going to kind of like, meh, there. Unlike their previous books, lore books were just full of lore and then still full of rules. Yeah, you know what? I am harping on Games Workshop. Let's get on to something positive. I do have a rumor to pass on. But first, man, when I saw this morning, the head of the Department of Adventure Times. Yeah, exactly. I saw this morning. I was like, what? Why are they putting out another Adeptus Titanicus gosh darn gun? It turns out that this lovely Warlord Titan Macro Gatling Blaster, say that 3 times fast, is now available for pre-order. It joins the other guns, but it's actually for the 7th edition rule system, Horus Heresy, which, though a lot of people play, I love Horus Heresy games. I love it, but man, they put a lot of effort into Horus Heresy stuff, and it cannot be a regular sales thing for them. This because really Forge World stuff has been hit so bad with the secondary or the recaster market that they cannot be making money. That probably is why they increase their prices. So, anyways, let's take a look at this Macro Gatling Blaster, range 72 inches, strength 10. AP3. For those of you that are in 8th edition, never played 7th or before, the AP3 means if your armor save is a 3, 4, 5, or 6 on the dice, this means it automatically penetrates it. So in reality, in 8th edition sense, this would be AP minus 4. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, minus 4. Primary weapon 6. I think primary weapon, if I remember correctly, in 7th edition lets you re-roll the hit or something like that for the shot, but you get 6 large blasts. Those are the 5-inch. You've probably seen them with Necromunda or other people with the old templates. It's a 5-inch circular template, and you put that down. Everybody that's under it and or partially under it get hit. Those deviate, but you got 6 of those. That is a major killing thing. And then afterwards, if you cause at least a wound, they have to make a leadership test, or they're pinned, like they hunker down, and they're not going to do anything this next turn because they are like, holy shit, we just got nuked. We're taking cover. That is brutal. That is absolutely brutal. So anybody that's going to be running that, which maybe 5 people per state. Well, actually, I would say 5 people here in Houston probably have a bona fide Warlord Titan that will be using that. Maybe 5 or 6 people. Other states, I would say less. At least here in the U.S. I don't know about in the U.K. It'd be interesting to see how many people actually own a bona fide one that's verified from Forge World and not Hong Kong or Singapore or wherever. And I'm not being racist. I'm literally saying from Hong Kong, Singapore, or the Russian Federation, because that's where some of this stuff is coming out of. Anyways, so let's take a look at the point-wise. I think these guys are sitting actually at 2,500 points. Texas Wargamer. I think they're 2,500 points for these guys. Let's see if we could find it actually. I don't think I can actually see the points for these suckers. Yeah, not going to be able to see the points for them. But let's take a look at the price for this sucker. $143 USD. $143 USD. Yes, with the guns. It's not that expensive. Well, I guess 2,500 points is expensive, ladies and gentlemen. 2,500 points is a full army. So your friend could be playing 2,500 points and have like 100 guys and vehicles and stuff out there, where the other guy unfairly has a Warlord Titan. So $143 for this. That's an increase, by the way, guys. Because I remember when these things were $89 to get a Warlord Titan gun. Now they're $143. That's almost a 100% markup. Am I doing my math right? It's almost a 100% markup. Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. And a good way to judge how many points something is from Forge World in the Warhammer 40,000 universe is you take the dollar cost, and that's about the average of what it's going to cost you. I'm not exaggerating. Take a look at some of the Forge World models, especially for 40K. Take a look at the dollar amount. Take a look at the point value, and then you'll have a very good estimate of how much it costs. It's about $1 a point. I'm not exaggerating. So, all right. The one rumor I had is, and it's still a solid rumor, is that I'll know on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. I will know on Monday. I don't know when I'll know on Monday. Hopefully, I'll know prior to doing the show. It'll probably be afterwards, so I might do an evening show, or I'll talk about it on Tuesday. In fact, I might even do a blog about it, ladies and gentlemen. I just got access today to the blog on the FNP Wargamers website, and I just got the permissions to do it. And literally and digitally. I got permissions to do it, so I'm going to jump on that probably this weekend and write one of the first articles and put up photos and all that kind of stuff because it's. I mentioned this before. I want to start documenting the things I talk about because I'm starting to see a lot more companies out there. Like, I'm not gonna call out exactly which articles, Bella Lost Souls or Spiky Bits or somebody else might, or somebody in a couple of the UK YouTubers that took my information days after I revealed it. And yeah, they could have gotten the same information. They were just doing it days later. Absolutely. That's why I'm not going to call them out and call them a liars or anything else. But I'm going to start doing some things to make these articles, basically tag the articles and get it out there. So it's mainly not so I can get a pat on my back and get a Pulitzer Prize or anything like that. It's so the channel, so FNP Wargamers can grow and get the recognition it deserves because they before I jumped on, they've been doing a tremendous amount of work and doing some really high quality videos and I mean, and we've grown since I've joined too. And I want to make sure that credit is given where credit is due. I'm really big about that. So I'm going to be probably jumping on putting the first blog this weekend about that. So the rumor is that we will be seeing Sisters of Battle in January. And it's right now it's still looking like it will be. I thought originally it was going to be the beginning of the month. It's now kind of looking like it's going to be near the end of the month, where Psychic Awakening 2 will be happening near the middle of the month. So we'll probably see, and actually I'll know exactly who or what is going to be kicking off January on. I should have it on Sunday. We might even do a Sunday show for it. I'll let you know. Anyways, that's it. Sisters of Battle or January of next year, and then Psychic Awakening 2 January next year, mid to late on both of those. I know it's not big because, like I said, I think everybody's taking a holiday, and I think they're really Games Workshop is back to where they tighten down the screws and they're watching for any leaked information that any of our people that leak us information. They're back to monitoring what is revealed, what is leaked. And I think I mentioned this before. We saw that twice this year, and I said, "Hey guys, watch what happens. Watch what happens. Watch what happens." Now this is the third time. Watch what happens. The other time was around, I think, right before Nova, right after Nova, and then right after LVO, and it was just this big silent gap. We had three of them. This is the third one where they just batten down the hatches. They tighten, zipper everybody's mouths or super glue them, whatever horrible thing they do to their employees there from leaking information. And so that's why we're getting this weird trickle. So that's why I'm talking about other things, other games. Like last night we talked about the Marvel Crisis Protocol game and the big reveal of Okoye, Shuri, and Venom. And I put up pictures, so make sure you check out that video over on YouTube, or you might be able to see it in the video library that we have here on this channel. So that's it. I'm going to get going, even though I'm not in a rush. I'm going to get going because I do have some work to get done. I've got where's my Hydra Captain America? See if I can do a good picture. It's going to be kind of hard to see here. Let me see if I can put something. Oops, sorry for the noise. Let's see. Working on a Hydra version of Captain America for a friend of mine, Escalante. So it's still in the early stages. A lot of gloss. I'm still, like I said, I'm still working on the model, but it's a Hydra version of him. So we'll see. I'd like to try to get him done today so I can get them in his hands. But I don't think that's going to happen. All right, I'm going to get going. Thank you guys. Watch for tonight. You guys might get a notification of me doing a show. It's a test run of me streaming to YouTube and to Captain Hydra, if you will. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Nom. You guys will see me live streaming tonight. And it's really a test run of me streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing. It's going to be a bad thing, but I'm going to be trying it because we still have a lot of people that are on YouTube that have not been catching our videos because they didn't want to come over to Twitch. Understandably, I'm not denouncing them or bad mouthing them. I totally understand that going from platform to platform, it's annoying. So I'm going to be trying to stream onto both, and that way we can get a lot of viewer response. So and to thank them, because a lot of those guys are Patreon supporters and they love interacting with us online. So if you see that up tonight, you could jump on as I'm testing. It'll be really good. Actually, I'm going to encourage you to, because then you could be watching us on YouTube and on Twitch and tell me if I've got any slowdown or if it's choppy or anything or bad audio and whatnot. All right, I'm going to go. Enjoy your Friday. Yay, it's Friday. Yay. It's awesome. Everybody's happy because it's Friday and we get to relax over the weekend. Unless you work over the weekend, and if you work over the weekend, you have my sympathy. So I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy your day. Be safe this weekend. And if I don't talk to you, or if you don't see me or watch any videos, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't know any other Christmas-y. Is Ramadan around this time? Or maybe that's starting next month. Regardless, happy holidays, whichever one you prefer. And I will see you guys tonight.